And then fast forward another bit, the PlayStation 2 came out. And I remember my father, see, myself and my father had a very, very strong connection at the time with video games. Because it was like, I didn't really have interest in what he did.
Yeah.
He was a businessman. He'd be in his own office in the house, and he'd be in there from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening, always on business calls and stuff. So it wasn't really, myself and him didn't really have a good way to talk unless it was video games.
Yeah.
Because try explain to a 5-year-old about accounting. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You couldn't.
No.
So we would always play that. And then he came in one day with a PlayStation 2 when it first came out. And the first game I got for the PlayStation 2, you're going to laugh at this, was Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh my. Welcome to Tarducks, a podcast for content creators to come on, share their stories, experiences, and advice. And today I am so happy to have Mr. Gibbon. Welcome.
How are we?
We're good. We're good. Dude, I got to say, first off, your tweets every day, your personality, you're just so pleasant. And it's such a nice thing to see.
I appreciate that. Thanks a minute. Look, listen, I mean, for me, there's no room for negativity at all. I mean, look, you never know who could see the tweet like yourself.
Yeah.
It might make someone's day. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of aiming for every time I tweet it out.
All right. So what we do, the way we get things started here is we start off with 3 rapid questions to get the juices flowing. All right. So you ready?
Okay. Yes. Fire away.
All right. So what's the worst part about moving?
Oh God. I think for me personally, what happened was we organized the Jeep, and I know I like for us a Jeep is just like a Range Rover or an Land Rover, and we organized one of those, and we got a trailer, and then the trailer declined by saying, "Oh no, we can't get out there, so we're sorry. So you're gonna have to get something else." So I had to try and find another person with a trailer, and I know no one. And the thing is, we don't have a Craigslist in Ireland, so it's just down to who you know. It's just like, oh geez, your neighbor down the road, he might know your second cousin or your third cousin that might have something. And so I wasn't getting any luck of a trailer, and then my father got back to me and he says, "Come here, we have a horse box." I said, "What?" He's like, yeah, we have a horse box trailer, and we could use that. And I goes, "Fair enough. Okay, let's get cracking in that." So we got the horse box trailer, and it's a big, huge one now. It's massive. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, we might get everything done in one, in just one clean drive up to the house." Yeah. So then we got everything attached, and we got into the Jeep, and next we took about maybe 2 feet forward, and the whole Jeep just. And we're like, "No way, this can't be happening." So we had to stop it there, and we said, right, we'll have to call the mechanic down. And the mechanic just lived up the road. The mechanic came over to the house, and he was up to my father's house. And he was saying, "Yeah, no, cars are right off in the minute. Anyways, guys, you're going to have to organize something else." Oh. And the thing is, right, it's so difficult as well to find a car in Ireland that has a tow hitch at the back. Yep. It's impossible. You think that they'd be so common, but they're not. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So eventually we managed to get a pickup truck that did have one, and we got everything moved down, and it was just, I mean, it was just easy sailing from there. Yeah. So it was, I think the hardest thing for me personally when we got into the house is just setting up everything here. Yeah. Wires, like I build PC. I used to build PCs, and I love doing it. Yeah. So I'm fairly handy with where goes where like that. And I know sometimes people are like, "Oh no, I need to take a picture first before I move it." But for myself personally, I just got it done within an hour. But when I was starting up the stream for the first time in the studio, it was a bit tricky. The stream kept like glitching out something. I was like, "Oh, I did something wrong." And there's actually 2 different internet connections. There's there's one here in this room, because this room is it's not connected to the main house. So we have a internet here, and there's internet in the house itself, and I was being connected to the one to the house. Oh shoot. And I was like, "Oh God." So I had to like try and chop and change that all during the stream. And I'd say that was all that for me was just the hardest. But it's it's been perfect now since. We've been in here for like, I'd say maybe 10 days now, I think. So it's been easy sailing from now on.
Excellent. All right. Cool. All right. So last movie you saw.
Oh God. Last movie.
Yeah. No, the last concert was
Oh,
Coldplay.
yes. The last concert I went to was Coldplay. The movie was The Grey Man, Ryan Gosling.
Oh, okay.
On
How was
Netflix.
that?
It was shite. It was. I don't know. Like, I really like Ryan Gosling. He's like one of my favorite actors. And I was just like, I don't know. I think it was Saturday night, and was it Saturday night? No, it was Friday night, and I was just there like, fuck, what can I watch today? And The Grey Man was on Netflix. I was like, I'll just throw that on because I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
And I put it on. It was good up until I fell asleep.
Okay.
And I woke up and I was like, I don't really want to finish it off. Like, I could kind of see where it was going.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a self-written kind of a movie that I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen. But like series, House of the Dragon. I can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. Massive.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
And last question is, best thing about your new place?
Best thing about I'd say the internet.
Yeah.
Probably. And the peace of quiet.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's just, I think like the internet in Ireland is very, very different to what you get over in the States.
Yeah.
Like, I can safely say that the internet that I have here is possibly the highest that you'll get in the country.
Oh, wow.
For what it is. Yeah, no, because I mean, if you're living in the city, you'll get good internet, but because everyone's kind of like feeding off that as well, it slows it down. I would say that I'm the only house in this area that has this speed, so no one's off of it.
Oh, nice.
And it's just, listen, everything is just done and there's no internet problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because before this house, I was living in the city and I had some pretty decent internet, but I was having some packet loss as well.
Yeah.
So that would like kind of mess up the stream a little bit. Other than that, it's the peace of quiet as well.
Oh, good.
I don't have to like ask my uncle for any permission of doing this, that, the other. Do you know?
Yeah.
As well. It's like, it's just, I can do my own thing.
You come and go as you please.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to be like, right, I'm going out to the shop. Do you want anything? Or it's like, oh, I'm just gone.
Yeah. Nice.
It's so good. It's so good.
Excellent. Well, cool. All right. So how I found you was Brian Baru came on my pod.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And at the end of the pod, I said, who should I get on? And he called out you. And dude, since that pod he's been on, you have just skyrocketed. You have exploded.
It's mad. it's crazy. I have no idea what's going on. I just ride the wave and hopefully it'll go even higher.
Dude, I'm watching you go to Twitch. Your numbers are exploding and it's just it's wonderful to see.
It's mental. I have no idea. I mean, like, I have a fair idea of why it happened.
Yeah.
But I was expected to go like well down by now.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be, because like Tarkov at the minute is very, I don't know, it's not boring. It's just, there just needs to be something new, I feel like, to get everyone kind of going again.
Yeah. It's plateaued.
But, yeah. It kind of has. When you look at the statistics about the game, you can see it actually kind of like plateauing now. And in comparison to last year, it's plateaued a lot sooner now.
Right.
And I was like, right, what could I do here? But you see, with my kind of content, I'm not really affected by that. So I'm just continuously doing the same thing that I'm doing because people seem to like it.
Yeah.
Sure. And then that's it, really. I'm just hoping that I have a good day. And if I have a bad day, you have bad days, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So before you hit that go live button, what did you do?
Oh God, it's a long story now.
Well, that's it's your pod, so it's all about you.
Okay.
So let's start.
Right. So I studied for 7.5 years in university. I did 2 degrees. My first degree was software development and game design.
Yeah.
I did that for 3.5 years and I dropped out because it was just, I don't know, like when I was 16, 17 and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. When you actually get into it and you see all the coding and the mathematics and everything involved, it's just, right, I don't want to do that. So I stopped that. I sat down with my parents. I said, guys, this is not for me. I was like, I thought it was. So I stopped. I took a break. I went off and I did retail for a bit. And then I went off and I did a business degree for 4 years and I got 2nd class honors. And that was in marketing and management.
Yeah.
And the final year of college there was, I I was working in a brokerage,
Yeah.
and I was a financial marketing analyst. And I was there for a year, and then COVID hit.
Oh.
And I got a phone call from my boss saying, "Don't bother coming in tomorrow. You're fired." I was like,
Wow.
"What?"
Oh my God.
It was the most ridiculous phone call I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Because there was no kind of leading up to it. It was just, "You're fired."
Dear God.
It was horrendous. I was like, "What? You can't do that." And he goes, "I'm sorry. It's just I'm firing everyone, and I'm sick of." He said, "I'm sick of like ringing people and being sorry for them." I was like, "Look, everyone's affected. I'm affected. So look, you're just gonna have to find something yourself."
Oh Jesus.
And I was like, "Right, okay, grand, no bother." And you see, I had some money saved up because we were supposed to go to America in September for like a month.
Yeah.
For a holiday, and I was dying to go over because I have family all over the States.
Yeah.
I have my family in LA, my family in Nevada, and I wanted to go over and see them. And I had some money saved up to go there because, you know, the flights to America and accommodation in America, it's quite expensive, especially when you're there for a month and when you're not working for a month as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I had all that money saved up, and the next thing, COVID hitting in Ireland, it was the most ridiculous. Sorry. Everything closed down. It was horrendous. It was so bad. There was we called them guards. They're what you call the police over there. The guards for us, the police force. They were so strict with you weren't allowed to leave your home more than 2 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
You'd be turned around.
2 kilometers?
2 kilometers, yeah. You weren't allowed to go past 2 kilometers of your house.
Jeepers.
It was crazy. Everything was out of stock.
Yeah.
The deliveries for food or clothes or whatnot, it was all backlogged. I was so depressed when all that happened because I was at home and I couldn't go out. I couldn't see my friends, couldn't see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. So I says, right. I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to start content creation because when I did software development and game design, I was uploading YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was playing DayzRP. I used to be absolutely, I was addicted. I had a problem with DayZ.
No way.
I was so addicted to the game. I couldn't get off it. There'd be times where myself and the guys, we were playing for 72 hours straight. I'd be here at my desk and I wouldn't leave. I came to a point where it was around the time when my mother and father were splitting up.
Yeah.
And it was a way for me to get away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no negativity or anything like that. It was just myself, the boys, and we were just having the time of our life. I was being a character in the game that I wasn't in real life.
Yeah.
And I was just away with that. And
nice.
I started uploading on YouTube. My editing was terrible, but it was still something.
Yeah.
The FPS was brutal, but it was still something. And then the lads were like, Jesus, Ed, you'd be great at being a streamer or a YouTuber. You should look into it. I says, lads, I'd love to do it, but I just don't have the internet. I can't.
Yeah.
So 9 years later, here we are.
Oh,
I'm actually I'm doing it full time now, and I've never been happier. I've never been happier. So with the whole streaming from COVID up until now, I like to tag myself as being a COVID streamer.
Yeah.
But a successful one. Mm-hmm. Because there were so many streamers that I know personally who started around COVID and they stopped as soon as everything opened up. Yeah. They just put the mouse and keyboard down and said, no, I got to do it.
Yeah.
But I had such a fantastic community and amazing support to help me push forward.
Yeah.
And here we are 2 years later, still doing it.
Wild. Holy crap.
It's crazy.
And just think how you go from that low of getting that call, lockdown, that event to where we are now. Now, did you enjoy what you were doing at the time before you got that call?
No, I wasn't. I'd be the type of a guy now that I don't know. With retail, I was in retail for 7 years.
Yeah,
and for those 7 years, I was part time and I was full. I was full time one time. I was part time another time. It was mainly part time. I was a student I'd work Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's like
Yeah.
4 days a week. So it was basically full time for some people. I was so sick to death with giving my opinion when asked, and it being shut down straight away because of my lack of experience. And I'm a strong advocate in being like, but sure, look, the only way I'm going to get experience if I, you know, give experience and then learn from it, and then I can apply it in the future. So you're not giving me a chance. And I've had my back stabbed so many times in retail, like false promises and everything and all that stuff. It was just getting to me mentally.
Yeah.
And I hated it there. In retail, I worked in, my first job was in Hollister. I was working there when I was over in America. I was 17, 18 when I lived in America in Kentucky. And I walked into Hollister and I got a, as soon as I walked in, I was asking one of the girls there for a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And as soon as she heard the accent, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you from Scotland?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm Irish." She was like, "Isn't that the same thing?" I was like, "No, it's not." And I told her there and then the difference between Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get it. And she goes, "Do you want a job here?" I was like, "Sure, feck it, why not?" And it was so funny. I'll never forget. I don't have a visa.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, don't worry about that, sweetie. It's fine." I was just like, "Oh God, this is gonna be great."
Oh shoot.
So I managed to get a job there, no bother. I was working there for a bit. I liked it there, and then when I got caught to go back home, I was broke because I spent all the money in the States.
Yeah.
And I was walking around. See, I come from a town called Ennis.
Yeah.
And so walking around in the town with my CVs, and there isn't really many clothing stores for men.
Yeah.
It's mainly females.
Yeah.
So I was there like, Jesus, I can't be working in a female shop like that. I couldn't be doing that. Like, this is back in, I don't know, when was it? Was it 2015, 14? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And I remember I walked into the shop and I handed him my CV, and he goes, "Could you start tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I could." He goes, "Perfect, come in tomorrow." And I was there for 2.5 years and didn't get on. Like, I got on great with the manager and the assistant manager. I did not get on great with the boss because he was the type of man that would belittle you quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I left there and I went off to Tommy Hilfiger, and I was working there for 4 years and I loved it there. But then there was like drama towards the end of my time there. And I said, "You know what? I kind of want to get out of the drama space." And I went off and got offered a position that was very close to what I was doing in college. And that was in the broker.
Yeah.
And I love the idea. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, solid salary, some bonuses, commission, the whole lot.
Yeah.
I went in with a suit. I went to the shop one day. I bought like 3 suits, and I was like, right, I'm going to have these shirts for these days. I'm going to have these suits for those days, these shoes for those days, and this tie for those days. And I was very, very like organized with all of that.
Yeah. And
as soon as I walked in, my office, there was no office. There was no kiosk. There was no table. And I was like, where am I supposed to sit, guys? I was like, "Oh, yeah, you'll have to make your desk over there. It's inside the box." I was like, what? And so I walked towards one part of the... It was like, if you can imagine The Office, the Michael Scott and all that.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine if that was just about to... Like, they were literally in there a week. And there's no furniture. There's just a couple of chairs, a couple of desks, and a couple of TVs and phones and whatnot, and a printer. And it was like everyone just didn't know what they were doing.
Oh my
and God. my little area was in the corner, and it was a really shabby down chair, and my desk was in a box from IKEA that wasn't set up. And I was in a brand new suit. I was in a shirt and tie and the nice shoes and everything. Yeah. I was ready to make some sales and make some phone calls. And they said, "Yeah, no, you brought in the wrong clothes for this. You're supposed to set up your office today." And I was like, "What? You mad? Are you serious?" So I spent the week setting up my office.
Oh, jeez.
And then I was like, "Am I getting paid for this? Yeah?" And they're like, "I suppose." Like, it was just so...
Oh, my God.
It was so unorganized.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay. So I was there for a while, and it got a little bit better. I was going out with sales calls and stuff like that. And I did enjoy a bit of, like, I like the challenge of being like, right, here's your target for this month, Ed, go get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'm going to be the Jordan Belfort here of the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm going to call up some people. I'm going to make some sales and stuff and see how everyone's getting on. And it was like with Irish people, we won't do business with someone unless we know them.
Yeah.
Right. Or unless we know someone of them. And I was the youngest person there. You know, I had no experience in sales. I had nothing like that. And everyone that was working there had experience for about 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And all of their sales were from connections that were made from other people. So I was like, right, I'm kind of a lost boy here. I don't know what to be doing. But it was just really, really unorganized. But at the end of it all, I was more of the coordinator of, right, we need to set up kiosks over here. We need to go there at this time. And that's what kind of my role kind of advanced into. I wasn't a salesman, and that's what I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, it was going towards more of a, I don't know, more of an organizer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden when COVID happened, it went. But like, to answer a long story short, I did enjoy it, but I would have liked to have done it if it was like in a AAA business.
Yeah.
And not just a small family run business.
Yeah.
But look, I'm delighted that I got that phone call saying I was fired.
I know. Look at you now, dude.
It's mad.
You're like a rock star.
It's crazy. I'm loving it.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now let's talk video games. So what were your first video games? Like, when did you start playing games?
First one, okay. So the first ever video game I played, I know this right away. Dino Crisis by Capcom.
Yeah.
That was the first one. And the second one it was around, I think that overhead kind of like camera is stuck in one particular part of the map.
Yeah.
And it just like follows you when you like move into the opposite screen, or when you move to one side of the TV, it changes camera.
Yeah.
I love dinosaurs. My favorite film is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was one of the first, it was like after cartoons, it was the first, how would you say, like real film? Not real film, but
like CGI or...
Yeah. So it was like the first film that I've seen. And I just had a mad obsession with dinosaurs. And I remember how old was I? It came out in 2001. It's 94, 95, 96, 97. I was 5 or 6, I think. When I first, I think I think it was 1999. I don't know when it came out. I was either 5 or 6. And I remember we were in Smith's, which is a known Irish toy store in Ireland.
Yeah.
And there was like a game section. They had the PlayStations, they had all that stuff. And I remember I saw a Velociraptor's foot with the claw and blood around it. And there was like a couple of shotgun shells. And it said Dino Crisis. I was like, what? I was like, Dad, dinosaurs, bro. And he was just like, yeah, son, I know. And he looked at it, and it was cert like 16.
Yeah.
And he goes, sure, look, I can play it and you can watch me. So he got it and he played it, and I watched him. He like handed me the controller, and I was just obsessed.
Oh,
I would play it all night.
Yeah.
And I got obsessed with those types of games. So there was Dino Crisis 2.
Yeah.
And then there was Resident Evil 2 and 3. I was obsessed with all of those.
Yeah.
And there was Colin McRae Dirt as well for the rallying. And then fast forward another bit, the PlayStation 2 came out. And I remember myself and my father had a very, very strong connection at the time with video games, because it was like I didn't really have interest in what he did.
Yeah.
He was a businessman. He'd be in his own office in the house, and he'd be in there from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening, always on business calls and stuff. So it wasn't really myself and him didn't really have a good way to talk unless it was video games.
Yeah.
Because try explain to a 5-year-old about accounting. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You couldn't.
No.
So we would always play that, and then he came in one day with a PlayStation 2 when it first came out, and the first game I got for the PlayStation 2, you're going to laugh at this, was Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh my God.
Right.
How old were you? 8?
Oh, when it first came out, when did Vice City come out? I'm born in 1994. I'm 27 now.
Oh my God. puppy.
And I remember he came in, and I just loved the art of the box. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And he was like, yeah, it's a driving game, and yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto. You steal cars. And I was like, cool. And then I played it, and I was like, what? Let's go to the strip club. Do you know what I mean? So, and then like, oh, there was like loads of other games as well that he would get me. He got me like The Thing. You know the original Thing that they made a video game about that. He got me that game. That scared the shit out of me. And then there was like Grand Theft Auto 3. There was Vice City. There was like whatever PlayStation game that came out that was pretty popular, I had it.
Nice.
But yeah, the first. See, I'm so sorry. I waffle on so much.
That's okay.
Because all of this comes back.
All of this comes back to me. I love hearing this. This is great.
Good. Okay. But yeah, that's the first video game I've ever played.
Oh man! And now, when did you jump to the PC side of things?
I think. Oh, I remember now. When we moved into our house, in 2007, I think it was. My father built a house with my mother, and we moved in 2007, and it was like a blank canvas house. There was no furniture.
Yeah.
Like I had my bed, I had my closet, I had a TV, and we had the TV down in the sitting room. And I remember I sat down, and I was obsessed with South Park.
Yeah.
And I threw on South Park, and then it advertised the next new episode.
Yeah.
And it was Make Love Not Warcraft, which was I don't know if you've seen that one, have you? Yeah. So I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And it was like, it's on tonight at 9 p.m. I was like, oh, great, let's watch that. So I sat down and I watched it, and I was just like, this is fucking great. Yeah. I want to get World of Warcraft. So I was like, I wonder if it's going to be like this. Yeah. So I rang a buddy of mine who I knew was playing World of Warcraft. And I goes, hey, dude, you still play the game World of Warcraft? And he goes, yeah, I'm playing it right now. I was like, would you teach me how to play it? And he goes, yeah, go down to GameStop and go get it. So I went down to GameStop the next day, and I bought it's just like, do I have it here? Don't. I think I have it at home. It's at the other place. It was like a long box, and you have the original World of Warcraft, and then you have the what's the green one again? The green cover, something Crusade. Is it Burning Crusade? I think it is. I'm sorry if there's someone watching this and I get it totally wrong. But it was the green one in with the green cover, and I got the two of them. And I remember I bought the game, and then I went home, and then I realized it was for PC.
Oh, shoot. And
I said, oh no. And then I rang my buddy up, and I goes, I forgot it's for PC. He goes, what? You don't have a PC? Have you got a laptop? I was like, I don't. He goes, you're going to have to go down and get a PC. So it was still early in the day, and I went up to my mother. I was like, ma'am, is there any chance of a loan? And she was like, what do you want? I goes, I want to get a PC. She goes, why do you want to get a PC? I goes, because I spent €40 on this, and I don't have the console to play it. And then I remember I said to her, I was like, I'll use the PC for school.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use it for learning. And I had chronic dyslexia. Well, I still do.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll get better at my spelling. I'll be better at grammar. I'll watch YouTube videos and how to do this, that, and the other. I promise I'll be good. And she was like, okay. So she said, where are we going to go? I said, we can go to, we have Lidl and Aldi. I don't know if you do as well. It's basically, it's like Walmart.
Okay.
So it's like the German version of Walmart. So we went down to Aldi, which is the German version of Walmart, and we walked in, and they have like a tech side.
Yeah.
Everything is super cheap inside there. So I remember we walked down, it was a big, huge glass cabinet, and there was like, they were kind of like advertising these business/gaming newish PCs.
Yeah.
And there was a PC there for like €200. And at the time, like, that's a lot of money. And I was like, ma'am, it's €200. And she goes, no, we're not getting it. I was like, ma'am, I'm going to have it for like, I'm starting school. I'm starting secondary school, which is high school.
Yeah.
We were there for like 6 years. I'll have this for 6 years. It'll be an investment, I promise you. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. She goes, is that the one? So I was like, yeah, grand, okay. So we bought it. And I remember I was setting it up, and here's another bad thing. We didn't have internet in the house because it was a new house. And it's not going to be installed for another couple of months.
Oh my God.
So I had to go down to Dad, and I was like, Dad, there's no internet. He goes, I know, I'm using my phone's Wi-Fi, or I'm using like a dongle that I got off of wherever. And I was like, oh, well, we need to get the internet sorted. I was like, Dad, I'm starting school. We need to get it sorted like now. And he got onto his friend who's an engineer, and he came over the next week, and he actually managed to get everything set up like fairly there and then.
Yeah.
I remember that night I played World of Warcraft for the first time. I stayed up all night playing it with my friend.
Yeah.
And I got as far as I think 40, I think it was at the time, which was like the highest I think you can get to. Oh, the memories I have. I was playing that game.
God.
I was so young playing that game up in my room, and I was playing it all summer long.
Yeah.
And it's just pure nostalgic with all these. That's why I just love video games so much, because anytime that I think of like one particular video game, it brings me back to that point where I was just the happiest. But yeah, that's the first ever PC game that I played, and that's what got me into PC gaming, was World of Warcraft.
Oh my God, that is so cool. And now, when did you find DayZ? Because that's another monumental game.
Yeah. So I'll never forget the time when did DayZ come out? DayZ, or not DayZ, but Arma 2.
Oh God, so long.
That long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when Arma 2 came out, I remember I was on the PC on YouTube, and I saw these zombie mods.
Yeah.
For Arma 2. And I said, oh my God, this is so cool. Like these were cinematically done at the time. Like when we watch it now, it's shit.
Yes.
But at the time, it was just pure drama and cinematic and slow motion going through the smokes and everything, and killing the zombies. You just see them like 2 FPS there on the ground and stuff. But I remember I saw that YouTube, and I was like, oh my God, I need to get this game. And so I got Arma, and I was playing it. Now my PC at the time had terrible FPS. Yeah. So I had to get another PC. Yeah. Maybe this was after. I have a feeling it was after World of Warcraft. I feel like it was. Maybe it was before. I feel like it was after. But I remember my PC at the time was stuttering like crazy. Yeah. So I had to get a better one. And I was like, where are the zombies? What's going on here? And then I went back to the YouTube, and I looked at the comments, and everyone was saying, oh my God, this isn't in the game. This is a mod for the game. I didn't know what mods were at the time. I was like, what's a mod? Yeah. Then I got into mods, and then I was like, right, how do I do this, that, and the other? And then out of nowhere, Jackfrags, or Frankie on PC, uploads their first ever DayZ video. And I just sit and I watch. I'm like, I need to get into this. I need to do this right now. Yeah. So I get the mod, and I start playing it, and I was like, this is great. This is amazing. Everything was just like what it was in the YouTube video. And I remember, like, whenever I watched Frankie or Jackfrags, they were very, very like immersed into the game, and they were very, very like acting kind of a thing, if you get me. They were acting the whole time. So I was like, right, I'm going to act myself. So I'm going to make up a character in my head. I'm going to call him that. And I walked around and blah, 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 and stuff. And then a buddy of mine messaged me, and he goes, dude, there's an actual role-playing server coming out. Would you be interested in joining it with me? I was like, yeah. And then that was DayzRP. Oh. So I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And I think that was like, fast forward a couple of years, that was in 2013, 14. Maybe a bit before, maybe 12, 13. And Jesus, 10 years ago now, you think of it, isn't it? Yeah. That's mad. And so it was my friend Jumac, and we set up an account, and we were playing DayZ, and we had our own our own roles and stuff. And we were addicted. Myself and Jamak. He's now. I've been friends with this guy since I was 11, 10 years of age.
Yeah.
And he's my mod now on the stream. And we were talking about this the last night. We were full blown addicts. Like we would be playing 3-4 days straight. Would not leave our desk. We had a problem. But I loved it because I had so many good memories, good friends met from that. I still talk to those guys to this day in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was around the time as well when I was uploading the YouTube. So the guys were saying that I should get into consecration.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, DayZ, it was a YouTube video, and I can tell you exactly what happened in the YouTube video. It was Dolores O'Riordan, the Cranberries, Zombie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was the main song, and everything was slow motion, and it was about a UN team in a town in Chernarus.
Yeah.
And they're being surrounded by zombies, and it came to like one final person, and that person died.
Yeah.
But like it was perfectly in sync with the song.
Yeah.
And sure, look, I had an instant connection because Dolores is from Limerick.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, and I'm born in Limerick and I'm living in Limerick. And that when that song came on, I was like, wow, I actually feel at home. And this video had like millions of views. Yeah. And it was my first time hearing Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. So that was it really. That was what really got me into DayZ.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of premise of being in like a really rugged down Russia. Mm-hmm. And then with Tarkov, I felt at home. Yeah. And that's why I feel now that I'm just the happiest that I've ever been. Yeah. Because everything I'm doing is just reminding me of what happened when I first started. And it's just
that's so
easy
cool.
sailing. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt I'd missed the window on DayZ. I didn't play it until really in the last couple of weeks, just because of this lull with Tarkov.
Really?
And I am absolutely loving it.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I just had Ariana on, who's a streamer from the UK, and just listening to her talk about, she had a character live for 5 months, or as her longest character, and the stories, and it's just like, I got to try this game, and it is. Oh yeah, it's a blast.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry that you didn't experience the mod days. Yeah. Because the mod days were so much better. Yeah. They were so much better. It was just, I don't know, innocent. Yeah. But with the standalone now, it's like, it's very buggy. Like, even though it came out in 2015, 16, it's the most buggiest game that I've ever played. Or maybe 13 it came out, I'm not too sure. But still to this day, it's so buggy. Oh. And a fun fact as well, when I was in college, I'm not too sure, is LinkedIn popular in the States? Yes. All right. My first year in college, we were told to set up a LinkedIn account. Yeah. And I was doing a project on DayZ. Yeah. And I said, what are the odds that I reach out to Dean Hall? Yeah. I reached out to Dean Hall and he got back to me straight away on LinkedIn. Shoot. And we're both connected on LinkedIn now. Oh, and awesome. I sent him a message. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. And oh man, I'll never forget the time when I sent him a request and he accepted it. I was like, I met it. Yeah. I met it. This guy created DayZ. It's mad. And then everyone inside the class was like, wait, what? You know Dean Hall? Oh my God, dude. It was amazing. It was so good. But it's awesome. Such a great game. It really is.
I had no clue there was an RP side of that was just, that's so cool.
Oh, the RP is the best. Yeah. Because oh my God, it's incredible. The amount of people that I've met on RP. Yeah. No, I couldn't do it now because cringe maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I know there's guys that do it and look, they're doing it so well. Like Mr. Moon is a fantastic example. He RPs on Red Dead Redemption. Yeah. And I would say he's in his 30s now, but he is possibly one of the most professional role players I've ever watched. Oh my God, he's unbelievable. He's incredible. But I remember I met him in DayZ. Yeah. And still to this day, this guy would be averaging a couple of thousand people now. Yeah. But his voice is perfect. His stories are perfect. Everything is just
So
perfect.
when it comes to the RP side of things, I've never dabbled in it or did anything. Like, so you have your character. Do you coordinate with somebody else with your character, and then you just roll the dice and see how the story goes?
You can. Like that's what myself and Jumac did. We coordinated our character that we were both brothers, and we arrived. I think the story is, if I remember correctly. Actually, no, I tell a lie. He was already signed up, and I remember he was like, "Nah, Edge, you need to try it. It's grand, I will." So I signed up, and I said that I was what was I? I was a news reporter.
Yeah.
For Radio Television Sharon, which is RTE in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's stands for Radio Television Broadcasting Ireland. And I said that I was a news reporter for Radio Television Sharon, and I was looking for my brother, who was a part of the UN, who went over to try and set peace or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I said in my story that I was writing and ringing him back and forth, and all of a sudden I wasn't getting any return calls and stuff. So I decided to charter a plane. Plane crashed in the island, and I'm looking for him. So when I did a small little YouTube series, I called it "To Find My Brother" or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just me. I would act it out. I'd wake up on the beach. My God, Jesus, where is he? Where am I? And I would just continue on. And I remember the first character I came across, his name was Thomas. And I was like, "Hello." And he was like, "Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up." I was like, "Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry." He's like, "I'm just looking for my brother. I came off the plane." And he was asking me these questions. Like, he was so like, he was, I don't know, so professional.
Yeah.
He's like, "What time did you get in? Where are you from?" And all this stuff. And I was like, "Look, I'm just looking for my brother, okay?" He goes, "Look, if your brother is anywhere and if he's alive, he'd be at the castle in this place." He goes, "Look, I'll take you as far as the gate. I can't go no further." So myself and him spent about an hour just chatting.
Yeah.
We weren't running, we were walking.
Oh.
That's why it took so long. So we were so like engrossed in like, I don't know, some sort of story, and it just escalated out of nowhere. And we got up as like we were walking for like 30 or 40 minutes, and we hear a car. And he was like, get down. There's a car coming. And the car spots us. And I find out that Thomas is a part of a group that the car is looking for.
Oh.
And they assassinate him. Or they execute him, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most dramatic thing. And then they point the gun at me. And I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm part of no one. I'm just looking for my brother." So they were like, "Get in the car." So I got into the car, and it was so immersive. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, Jesus, I hope my internet doesn't go or the power doesn't go, because like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And they take me to the castle anyways, and then eventually I'll find G-Mac.
Yeah.
And we just continue our story from there.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's excellent. I mean, and
so
there's
cool.
people inside it that literally, they know life it.
Yeah.
And what that means is that they would spend their whole time playing the game rather than real life. And it's kind of sad as well.
Yeah.
But it's just insane how far people go when it comes to RP.
Yeah. That's wild.
And I thank God I didn't get to that stage, because if I did,
Yep.
I knew I had a problem. I was really, really addicted to it.
Yeah.
And when I realized I had a problem, I sold my PC.
Oh,
and,
shoot.
I bought my first car, or I got insurance for my first car.
Yeah.
My grandfather bought my car, and the insurance in Ireland for a first-time driver is almost the price of the car.
Jeez.
It's expensive over here. So I remember I had 3 monitors. I had a microphone. I had a camera. I had a headset. I had a really, really nice PC. And I had like keyboards and mouses and all little bits and pieces. And I sold it all as one for like €3,000. And
crap.
it was like the saddest day of my life.
Yeah.
I was so sad, because I was
bet.
like, oh man.
You're selling off a life of you, or a chunk of you for
But it wasn't a pre-built PC. It was a PC that I built and then I added to it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, Jesus, I'm literally giving away like something that I built from scratch.
Yeah.
And at the time in Ireland, it wasn't known for someone to build PCs.
Mm-hmm.
it was getting to be somewhat like, popular.
Yeah.
But when I was in college, it's what we learned as well.
Yeah.
How to build components and stuff. So I kind of used what I learned there to build the PC. And I remember I handed it to him, and he said, like, I helped him set up everything. Yeah. And he went into his bag and he took out the cash and he gave it to me, and I goes, I don't know if I want it. He goes, I said, no, I have a car. I need to drive it. I need to get insurance. So I was like, look, hopefully now I'll give you as much joy as it did for me. Yeah. And I didn't go back to PC gaming until, I don't know, maybe like 6-7 years later. Yeah. So I just took a complete gap, a complete break in games, because I knew I was addicted. Yep. At the time, I had a girlfriend, and I remember she broke up with me there and then when I was playing H1Z1. Yeah. And I was in a tournament, and she came over and surprised me with a pizza. Yeah. And I said, I can't. I'm in the middle of a tournament. But I snapped at her because I was so engrossed. Right, and I was like top 3 or top 4. Yeah. But she didn't understand what was going on, whereas I did, because it was like, I think at the time it was like maybe like 500, 1,000 euro. Which was a lot. Shoot, we had a good chance of winning. Yeah. And I got a message a couple of hours later after the game and said, we're done. I was like, yeah. So I knew I had a problem. I knew, but look.
Oh, man. And now when you came back to gaming, what was the game that brought you back?
Oh, I was there thinking about this the last day. I don't really know.
Like, what made you buy a PC to come? Was it just, to get back online, or?
I know it was. Streaming.
Oh, okay.
It was, yeah. It actually was, because I played the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Yeah. Up until I bought a streaming PC. So I think I got back into, like, I wasn't like playing games all the time, but Fortnite. Yeah. Was in 2016/17 was what really got me back into it again. Yeah. I was like, dude, it's so emotional to think about all of this now, because it's like everything that I'm telling you now is just it's because it's where I am right now. Right. Everything that's happened is because I'm here. Yeah. But I remember I was so nervous going into college, man. I was so nervous. Because it was a new, like the first course I did, it was me. Yeah. I was games design, surrounded by nerds with everything in common. And then I dropped out. I took a year break. And then I went off and I sat down with a career guidance counselor, and they said, right, you'd be actually good. You're a great salesman, because you talk for Ireland. You can send sand to an Arab. So they're like, you need to get into sales. So why don't you get into business? And you might go down the old sales route there, which, I don't know, when it comes to insurance or accounting or something like that. I said, yeah, okay, all right. And she said there's a fantastic course that just opened up, which was marketing management. And I go through phases of trying to fit in with other people at the time. So the phase I was in was very preppy. Yeah. I was a very preppy looking fellow, and I would wear Ralph Lauren. I would buy clothes that I couldn't afford. Yeah. And I just wasn't myself. I was so fake, but I was trying to be someone that I wasn't to fit in with this university that I was going to. And I walked in anyways, and I wasn't getting on with anyone. I was like, right, I have no idea what's going on. But then anyways, fast forward a year or so, or a couple of months or whatever, and I met friends of these guys, and we all had something in common, and that was video games. Yeah. And we weren't the type of lads that would go out for lunch. We were the type of lads who would get lunch and bring it back to the car. Yeah. And we would watch Tim the Tatman in the car on the phone, just in front. And I remember the first stream I watched on Twitch at the time, before, like, I took a massive break during DayZ and all that. I would watch Summit 1G or Buys or Dr. Disrespect or any of those guys
Yeah.
who would play whatever game that I was interested in. And I took a break again because I sold the PC, but Tim the Tatman was the first Twitch streamer that I watched getting back into it again back in 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And he was playing Fortnite. I just fucking loved the game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is great. Let's get Fortnite. So I went off to GameStop and I bought an Xbox.
Yeah.
That same day. And I set it up. It's like, right, I'm going to download fucking Fortnite. I'm going to play that. And I was playing it for, like, myself and the guys would play it every night. And that's what got me back into the gaming scene.
Yeah.
And then when I was more comfortable with talking about games with the guys, I decided to do like nearly every single one of my projects in college on Fortnite or the Battle Pass strategy. And all my lectures, all my tutors, they were all like, what? You can't do your whole fucking, you can't do everything in games. And I was like, watch me.
Yeah.
So that's what got me back into it. And then with COVID happening, I said, you know what? I'm just going to start streams. So that's what got me back into the PC gaming.
Yeah.
And the first game I played on the PC was WarZone.
Yeah.
And I was considered a WarZone streamer for a year.
Oh shoot.
It was horrendous. One of the worst experiences I've ever had. But sure, look,
now,
it's what made me who I am today.
Was that because of the community, or just the game is just not a streaming? It's not a game that you can interact.
Community.
Yeah.
The community, the worst community out there by far.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there is some amazing people that I've met from WarZone.
Yeah.
Like, they're so nice. But I made some really, really close friends during my time streaming that game who I would consider like, if not like best friends. And when they had the chance, they stabbed me in the back.
Oh, shoot.
So, yeah. And I was like, wow, this is actually horrendous.
Oh,
so
boy.
I said, you know what? I'm putting the mouse down for Warzone and uninstalling it. I uninstalled it when they brought out the new map, Caldera.
Yeah.
I just wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I think that was in November, last November. And I said I wasn't enjoying it. And Gingy she'd come in every so often into the streams.
Yeah.
Like, Gib, play Tarkov. Gib, play Tarkov. Now, I dabbled into Tarkov a few times with the guys that I used to play DayZ with.
Yeah.
But I was just never really hooked because these guys, they're hilarious. They'll play a game for a month.
Yeah.
And they get sick of it and they'll never go back.
You can't just do that with Tarkov.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. So I was really enjoying it at the time. And when they stopped, I stopped because I was the only one. I was the only one that was doing it out of everyone that I knew.
Yeah.
That was playing that game. So I was like, I can't play it myself. So Gingy would come in every so often in the streams, be like, Gib, just play Tarkov, just play Tarkov, just play Tarkov. I was like, right, I'll give Tarkov a go. And I went back into it in December when the wipe happened.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I put up 4 or 5 TikToks at the time.
Yeah.
And each TikTok I put up got over like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 million views.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It blew up. It really did. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm definitely being view botted. But when you see it all, the likes, like, let's say if I got one video that was 1 million views,
yeah,
I'd have 500,000 likes.
Yeah.
So everything was matching up. Everything was 50%. And I was being titled the TikTok Tarkov guy.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is insane, because I was trying my very best to become the TikTok Warzone guy.
Yeah.
But there was so many other people there that were doing it. And it was just so oversaturated.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, I was like, why isn't there anyone doing their TikToks the same as I'm doing them in Tarkov?
Yeah.
And then I saw a window and I just took it.
Yeah.
And I just kept producing the same content ever since.
Yeah.
And here we are,
wow.
like 9 months later.
Holy shit, that's
still
crazy.
Still doing it, yeah. It's mad.
That is why. Now, what is the hook that Tarkov has for you? Like, because, coming from DayZ, there's those pucker moments. Tarkov,
yeah,
it's a pucker game. It's just
I think the community.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I really think it's the community. I mean, every time I meet someone in the game that I have a conversation with, I'm blown away by their story. It's such a mature audience as well in comparison to Warzone.
Yeah.
Warzone is full of kids, in my opinion, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Jesus, no, Ed, you haven't seen the Reddit version of Tarkov. I don't care for that.
Right.
You know, it's like, right, I just, listen, like, let the Redditors be Redditors or whatnot. Just enjoy what you're doing and just do that. And I feel like whenever I'm playing the game, I know straight away that this person has put in the time and effort to buy a PC, to build a PC, to buy the equipment that they need to play the game. And so these guys are either mature or they know what they're at. Whereas if it comes to Warzone or Fortnite, they literally just go up to GameStop and they buy a console for a couple of €100 and then they throw it on and that's it. And they have a headset and they shout all racial slurs or whatnot at you.
They've got no skin in the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the community and the audience that is on Tarkov is really what left me there. Yeah. I've been showed nothing but support from everyone. Yeah. That is either a streamer or a content creator. It's the reason why I think I tweet out so much like gratitude and I'm so grateful for everyone is because I went through so much shit. Yeah. And to see the difference now in comparison to what it was a year ago, I could break down and cry. Yeah. Like, it's just, everyone is just so nice and I can't get over it. Now, maybe they might be talking shite about me in a Discord chat or something like that, but I really don't think they are.
But I'm so adamant. What could they be talking about? There's, that's what you see on the screen. That's who you are. So, like,
I know, you know, I don't know. you just don't know. I think it's with Warzone. It's very petty. Yeah, everyone seems to be very, very petty. Like, I don't know if you're caught up with the whole Nadia thing. No. All right, so I don't really know much about it, but basically, she's a female streamer. Yeah. Plays Warzone, who's being accused of cheating and using VPNs and everything. And I've watched her streams. She's unbelievable at the game. But the amount of hate that she gets, it's sexist, it's racist, it's everything. And I'm just like, how is this even possible to be this mean to someone? Yeah.
In today's day.
In today's day, it's mad. Keyboard warriors, it's insane. Yeah. But then I sit back, I'm like, that's Warzone. Yeah. That's Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a very toxic place. So you need to have a really, really thick back. Yeah. In order for you to really get into it. Yeah. Now, I wasn't that kid that played Call of Duty like when I was young. I played it, but I played it for the campaign. Yeah. I never played online. I never did multiplayer. I think the first ever Call of Duty multiplayer that I did was World at War, and I liked it then because I don't know. I think it was a new kind of a. I really think that the modern warfare side of Call of Duty changed the community a lot. Yeah, into being more toxic and whatnot. Like, I haven't seen positivity like Tarkov has. Yeah, in a Call of Duty game in so long. And I just got sick of it. Yeah. But it was changing me as a person at the time as well. I was just getting...
You were like, getting if I got killed, in.
I was getting... Yeah, I was. And I was... Like, the person that you see now, I was not the person that I was then. Yeah. No way. Yeah. You'd see me as two different people. But it was just because of the people that I was playing with, the people that I was hanging around with, and the game that I was playing. Yeah. You know, I was like, oh, you shit, you get trashed. Yeah. You know, it's all that stuff. But with this, it's just like, GG's, look, you got me good. Yeah. Just move on.
Yeah, I've jumped into the community last fall, and I've got nothing but good things to say about it. Yeah. Everybody who's come on the podcast from the Tarkov world have been just really great people. You see everybody playing with everybody. Like, it's just great. Like, last night you had Spooky or Victoria playing with Games with Death. It's just everybody's, and I know you see on Twitter, it's like, oh, it's all fake love and all this kind of stuff. But it's like you said, you're taking the time to buy a computer, taking the investment to play the game. You've got,
you want to play the game because you want to do something you enjoy. Right. You know, you're not just, with Call of Duty, it's free. Yeah. So, like, you just throw it on. You just shout whatever you want. Like, it's not care about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, with the latest drop or the latest wipe, what's been, the thing that you've liked the most about it?
I love the goons.
Do you?
I love the goons. Oh, I love the goons. I think it's brilliant. I made a huge kind of a joke about it, and the joke, like, I hadn't found the goons. The first time I saw the goons was with Jay, and that was 2 weeks ago. So since the start of Voip to now, to about 2 weeks ago, was the first time I saw the goons physically.
Oh wow!
And it was the rush.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God! And it was just so funny. Like with playing with Jay. And like, he's an absolute goon whisperer, whatever sort he's going on, whatever he's doing. But I remember I reached out to him and I goes, listen, buddy, you have a way with the goons. I need those ways. You need to help me out. And we played for a full day straight. And I got them back to back 4 times in a row. Oh my
God. On what map?
I was like, a lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So it was customs first, and then it was 3 times a lighthouse. And just the adrenaline, it was just, it was mental, and I loved it. And then last week as well, I found my first ever red key card.
Oh,
in the back of Bird Eye's backpack.
Yeah. Oh,
and I'd say now, I haven't seen anyone post about this, but I'd say I'm the first person to find a red key card in the back of Bird Eye's backpack. God. So the adrenaline was something. I was I've never felt that way in a video game in such a long time. Oh, so I think it's a fantastic addition, those goons.
Oh, that's
definitely
cool. And now you started last sort of winter. So before Voip started, you came in at that Voip patch?
Yeah, I was playing it, I think, so two Christmases ago. It wasn't this Christmas, the one before.
Yeah.
Was when I played it for the first time. And I remember saying, it's such a pity that Voip isn't there. I was like, where the hell is Voip?
Yeah.
Where is it gone? They're missing so much opportunities. And I dabbled, so I played it for a month then. And I just got sick of it because I wasn't having any interactions and stuff. And I'm a very interactive person. I like to chat to whoever if you have a mic. Yeah. And I remember with Call of Duty, I'd get pissed off if someone didn't have a mic and I would just leave the game. And I wasn't enjoying it. So then I went back into it with the Voip that year, which was like, I think it was actually, it was around, when was Voip that time? There was 2 Voips. Yeah. There was a Voip during the summer, wasn't there?
Yeah, and then there was a Voip at Christmas.
Yes. So there was a Voip during the summer, and I played it for a week, and they introduced gun jams.
Yep.
And I remember I had 100 durability M4, and I was sneaking up behind a team 3 for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
On stream. I remember I was like walking up to them. I was like, right, I'm gonna get them all. As soon as I clicked the mouse button, it jammed. I was like, what? How the fuck did it jam? And they heard the click and they turned around and they just sprayed me. I was, I'm fucking done with this game. So I uninstalled it and I never went back to it until I got so sick of Call of Duty. I installed that and I got back into it then. And they introduced Voip. And I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And I remember the first video I put up the first TikTok video I put up of a Voip interaction. It was the most wholesome thing. So I was fighting a scav, and the scav messed me up really good, but I killed him.
Yeah.
And I was a PMC and I was fighting a scav, and the scav messed me up. It was a scav player. He broke 2 of my arms and 1 of my legs, and I had a heavy bleed. And I was just sitting there in the corner, just coughing, spluttering. And the next thing, these 2 scavs come out of nowhere. I was like, guys, don't kill me. I need heals. Come on. And you just hear this broken English man, and he goes, it's okay, my friend. I'll help you. I have S-March. It's fine. I was like, what? You're really going to help me? He goes, yeah, see, it's okay. I was like, cool, let's go. So he dropped all his meds.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're so generous. I was like, how can I repair you? He's like, no, man, you just have good life, you know? It's Christmas and Happy New Year. I was like, oh, Happy New Year, man. And we bought extract. We both take like the dual extract.
Yeah.
And I put that up in TikTok and it got like, I think it was 5 million views or something
Dear
like
God.
that.
Wow.
And everyone in chat was in the TikTok chat was like, wow, this is so wholesome. Wow, he was so nice. Wow, he could have killed you. Wow, how this story could have ended if he killed you. You know, all this stuff. I goes, okay, we have something here.
Yeah.
And it's just going back to, look, VoIP and interactions are so important. But you could you couldn't have that in Warzone.
No.
No way. TDM? Oh, not a hope. You couldn't. Not a hope.
No. Because it's just run, die. There's no commitment to what you put into that game.
Exactly. Now I feel like with DayZ, it would have that too.
Yeah.
And any game that's like I guarantee you, like there's a time there was zombie games and now there's extract games.
Yeah.
I feel like extract games are going to be the next AAA thing.
Yeah.
Like we had Cycle Frontier, we have Marauders.
Yeah.
There's Tarkov, and now Call of Duty announced they're
doing
their
some,
own DMZ mode or something like that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that 2023 will be a massive year for extract games.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping there will be, because the more interactions you have, the more stories you can hold, the more stories you remember and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why video games are very, very important, because the relationships and the friendships that you make.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have that with any quick paced game.
Yeah.
No way.
Now, with your love of dinosaurs, did you jump into Ark?
I did. It was actually when I bought the Xbox One first.
Yeah.
And I got the PlayStation 3. And I dabbled or PlayStation 4, and I dabbled into Ark on the PlayStation 4. It was so choppy. It was so buggy. And that's what drove me off of it.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, great premise. It's like Rust meets Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I loved Rust when it first came out. But I just hated it and how goofy it was.
Right.
It was just so goofy and so choppy. This is actually like destroying my love for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish playing that.
Yeah.
Don't think I will.
No, you're right. It's kludgy.
Yeah, it's very kludgy. I'm waiting for Ark 2.
Yeah.
Waiting for that. When that comes out, I might dabble back into it.
Yeah, cool. All right. So now, when you're playing Tarkov, do you prefer to run solo or run with the team?
I think solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I do love playing. I wouldn't go above a 3 or 2 man.
Yeah.
Because I'm an interaction streamer.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting my content out of like talking to someone one-to-one.
Yeah.
And I do love meeting another streamer in a game.
Yeah.
And then padding around with them. Like there's something about talking to someone in Discord in comparison to talking to them in game.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've bumped into Vel in game.
Yeah.
And we would just VoIP it out. And we'll do the raid together, but we'd VoIP it out.
Oh, nice.
But with Discord, it's like it seems like it's already pre-recorded kind of a thing. Do you know if you get me? I do enjoy playing with other people. Like I do talk an awful lot, and I do like playing with duos or trios, like myself and Jay and Ames, or myself and Vel, or whoever, or Gingy.
Yeah.
I do enjoy playing with them. But I think personally I'd be more of a solo player.
Yeah.
Just because of the experience.
Yeah.
I feel more connected with chat, but when I'm playing with someone else, I'm a terrible multitasker.
Yeah.
I have to chat with them and then I have to chat with chat.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm playing the game solo, I just have the game and I have the chat.
Yeah.
So it's just
I had Deadly Slob on once, and he talked about that point. Basically, he's a storyteller streamer. When he's playing the game, he's able to talk to chat and play the game. But when he plays with somebody else, he's basically telling his chat, "Hey, today's a special day. It's just me and my whoever I'm playing with, and you're just gonna, you sit back and watch and enjoy." And that's the way.
That's exactly what happens with me.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the same thing. He gets it.
Yeah.
I think it's going back to my DayZ roots.
Yeah.
We would never talk in TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
We would only talk in game.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd all be in the TeamSpeak, but we wouldn't talk to each other.
It's that immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just immersed in the game. That's it. But when you're in Discord, you're not immersed.
Yeah.
And I like to be immersed when I'm playing Tarkov.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Absolutely. So now you get to pick an all-star Tarkov squad to run with you. You name their names, old OGs or current guys. Who's your other 3 people that you're calling out and going to run with you?
Oh, I would love to run with Trey.
Yeah.
I would love to run with Trey because what I like about what he's doing now is when I watched him I'd say maybe last year when I first watched him, he was so focused on being a gunner.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't acknowledge chat at all as much, or he would just be in that. But now he's kind of like dabbling into content as well as being that. And then I found out that it's Trey's Gingy's brother. I did not know that at all.
I didn't know that. Are you serious?
Yeah. So I was like, I get on like a house on fire with Gingy. I was like, sure, fuck it. If I get on with Gingy, I get on with Trey.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to run with Trey.
Yeah.
Who else is there?
Who else would be a part of that squad?
Baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Baddie.
God.
I've never talked to Baddie before, but I've so many friends who are like really good friends with him.
Yeah.
And the stories I hear about that man, and I just love his positive attitude. I think he's just the cheekiest fellow out there from what I see. Yeah. And I'm like, I'd fucking marry you right now, you know, kind of a thing. He just has that energy around him that he's just great. Yeah. I've never talked to him. Yeah. I've never been into his streams. Because he streams at like 2 or 3 a.m. my time. Yeah. So I'm sound asleep. But from the clips I see and from his tweets I see, I think he's just hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So his energy would be brilliant. Yeah. Another one. That's a tough one now. I see what I would like to do is I would just like to have a messed up team. Yeah. Not a team that get on. But a team that's just so messed up, because that's what it was in DayZ. Yeah. We would have one guy who was so strict and everything. We'd have one guy that was really goofy. We'd have one guy that was just overly dramatic. Yeah. And we'd have one guy that was just being a little bitch. You know? So I suppose I'd be the little bitch. But I don't know who the third now, because I'm still new to the Tarkov scene. Yeah. I don't really know much. Yeah. I think I'd love to dabble in back with Eric Pool Shark. Yeah. I don't know if I'd have him in the team though. Yeah. Sorry, Eric. It's
add Lupo into it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Lupo. Maybe Lupo. Like I used to watch Lupo an awful lot when he was on Twitch, and I don't watch him anymore on YouTube because I see Twitch as my place just to watch streamers. Yeah. I see YouTube as a place where I watch.
You record content.
Recorded content, and I don't want to change that. Yeah. I used to be obsessed with Tim the Tatman. Yeah. But as soon as he moved over to YouTube, I haven't been over. Yeah. It's just Twitch is Twitch and YouTube is YouTube for me. Yeah. So maybe Baddie. Yeah. That'd be good. Trey and Lupo.
All right.
And myself. maybe the 4 of us. We go mad.
There you go.
But yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk a little streaming. So, what was the hardest part for you, hitting that go live button over the last couple of years?
The hardest part for me, I was streaming to 0 people for 3 weeks. 3 weeks I was streaming to 0 people until I got a message from one of the guys saying, dude, you need to try out TikTok. Yeah. So I put up like a really cringy TikToks. The next thing, it'll be 5 years, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah. I still remember to this day, my first, was it 500? Was it 500 followers or 50 followers? I feel like it's 500. I did my first ever 24-hour stream at 500 followers.
Oh shit.
And I was averaging maybe 15 at the time. Yeah. 20. I had some amazing people then, man. Like I would still consider myself a small streamer. But then when I was like really, really small, I do miss it because you have more of a connection with your chat. Yeah. And I think when I first did it, I was very, very nervous, as in when I'd have my viewer count on. Yeah. And as soon as I see one, I would change. I would be like, hey guys, how you doing, man? What's going on? What's crack? And then it goes back to 0. I was like, oh. So I did that for ages. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn off the views.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do my thing.
Yeah.
And I was playing The Last of Us Part 2. That was like the first game that I ever streamed was Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
And I streamed off of I didn't have the PC first now.
Yeah.
I had the PlayStation. So when COVID hit, I said, grand, let's see how easy it is or how hard it is to stream. So I had my MacBook Air from college.
Yeah.
I used that microphone. I used the camera off of that.
Yeah.
I had the PlayStation. I had a capture card. I had a really shitty headset. So I would have my MacBook over here on one side with the camera up, looking at me. And I was like that from when it was coming off. So it looked like it had a double chin. And I had the PlayStation 4 here in front of me. And I had like terrible FPS because my internet was terrible. And I didn't have a capture card at the time. I had I was screen sharing or something like that. I think with the laptop.
Yeah.
And it was my first ever clip, and one of the guys from college clipped it, and it's like 10 FPS, and just the audio was brutal, and I'm just shaking all over the place I'm like, come on, guy. I'm like going away from the microphone. I'm over here, I'm over there and stuff. It was horrendous. And so I took a break then for a month.
Yeah.
And I bought like the PC and I bought everything and I put it all together, and I was still streaming to like 0 to 5 people for ages. But I made sure that the first game that I would play would be The Last of Us Part 2, which came out in June 19th, which I would consider my anniversary.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, a buddy of mine died in Ogla. One of my good friends.
Yeah.
He tweeted out saying, hey, will you go follow Mr. Gibbon? He's starting up his first stream. And he did that, and it got like 300 or 400 or 500 views or 500 likes, sorry, on Twitter. And it was pretty good for me. And eventually I had like 20 people, 30 people coming in.
Yeah.
And they were just asking me stuff about how do you know Nogla and stuff like that. And I tell them, but eventually all of that kind of like weared out. He said, that's the only thing I'm going to do for you, because look, you're there, you're put on Spectrum. Yeah. And you just go with that and see where you get on. But it would go back down to 5 average, go back to 2 average. Yeah. But then I got into Call of Duty, and I started doing Call of Duty content. And before I knew it, it was like 15 average, 30 average. And it was solid at 30 for about a year. But it was difficult pressing the go live button, knowing that I'll probably have no one coming in. Yeah. But in the back of my head, I was like, sure, what else am I doing? I can't leave more than 2 kilometers away from my home. I'm literally here doing nothing. Yeah. So it's a hobby. So I started off as a hobby, and then before I knew it, I had 10 subs. Yeah. I had 15 subs. I had 50 subs. I'll never ever forget my first ever big donation, and it was $50. Yeah. From a mod of mine now, Haley, and she gifted $50 for me to buy this chair that I'm sitting on now, and at the time, I was sitting on my late grandfather's wooden kind of rocking chair kind of a thing. Oh my God, it was the most comfortable chair ever. It was horrendous. It was so bad. I was like that all the time. I was like punched over or hunched over. And she's like, look, you need to go onto Amazon. You need to get an ergonomic chair. The chair cost me €100, and it was possibly one of the best investments because it's so comfortable. Yeah. It's so comfortable. But yeah, no, that was the hardest, knowing that I would stream to such a small amount of people and seeing one person come in and then 0. Yeah. Turn off the viewer account and just do you. Yep. That's what I did.
Good. And now what has been your highlight since going live?
The highlight?
Yeah. Is it your partner story or, a big raid? The whole thing is just the friendships that I made. Yeah. It really is.
Partner, of course, is one of the best and biggest and most amazing achievements I'll ever make.
Yeah.
And it was only recent. It was only two months ago, I think. Now.
Oh, so yeah, what is your partner story?
I've applied 7 times.
Holy
and the
crap.
declines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Declined 7 times. It was the most, like, if there was one thing I would ask Twitch to do is to please be personal and not be robotic. Just constant robotic replies.
Yeah.
You know? And every affiliate is going to go through this. You're going to get a robotic reply, copy paste kind of a job.
Yeah.
I got the same response 7 times in a row. Same copy paste.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Gibbon. Thanks for replying. Fortunately, it's not going to work out. Blah, blah, blah. Or 6 times. And the 7th time I got it. But I remember the last application I sent in, I was mad. I was really mad. And I said, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I get declined, I get declined. I said down on the application, I said, look, this is ridiculous. I've applied. I've met the achievement. I've done everything you're asking for. You're being robotic. It's pissing me off is what I said. And I was like, please just tell me what you want me to do, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And let's just work from there. And for the love of God, do not hand my application into the UK department. Because when an Irish application gets put into the UK department, you're considered in the UK, right? Yeah. And there's only a handful of Irish streamers from Ireland streaming in Ireland.
Yeah.
But there's hundreds in the UK. So I was like, can we please just have our own department? I was like, if we're going to throw it into the UK department, just fail me. Yeah. Because I know it's going to be fail. And I had a feeling, because I said, do not put it into the UK department, it's what got me passed. Because I got it that time.
Yeah.
It was, listen, this goes for anyone that is applying for partner. Just don't be professional. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that really adds to it, because it shows the person you are, and it showed who I was. Like, I remember when I was applying for the first time, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy and stuff like that. And thank you so much for doing this. It was just all fake.
Yeah. And
I was just like, you know what? I'm sick of it now. It's like, look, if you're going to decline me, but just give me a fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, we were flying out to TwitchCon.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I collected G-Mac. He went with me, and we were in the car on the way to Dublin. On the way to the airport, it was about 2.5, 3 hour drive. And he looked at me and he goes, man, could you imagine now if you actually got partnership when you're over there? I was like, I know. Like, listen, that won't happen, because if that happens, I'll have to go to the partnership parties. I'll be going to the VIP lounges and all this stuff. And he goes, yeah, no, man, it probably won't happen. But could you imagine if it did? I was like, yeah, it would be pretty cool. We were at the gate, and I get a notification from an email.
No way.
And I look at it, and it said, congratulations, you've been accepted to the partnership program.
Wow.
And I was like, my fucking eyes lit up, and I was like, what? And then G-Mac was over there, and he goes, what? And I was just like, I was there reading it for about 5 minutes. And then he whips out his phone, he takes a picture, and he puts it up on Twitter, and it blows up.
Oh my God.
It blows up. And it's like, he put it up saying that, capture the moment on the way to Amsterdam to TwitchCon 2022.
Wow.
And Mr. Gibbon just gets partner. And it was just a fantastic way to start the trip.
Because your flight got canceled or something on the way
there,
right?
the flight got delayed on the way back because of sorry. Yeah, no, it got delayed an hour going over, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
But it got delayed 6 or 7 hours on the way home.
Oh.
Which was just, I mean, I was at the time, I was just like, oh, Jesus, would you just cancel the flight completely and we get a next one tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get home into my bed until 4 or 5 a.m. that time when we got in.
Yeah.
But when we were in Amsterdam anyways, it was crazy because I still had an affiliate ticket.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. So I went up to the staff members and said, guys, I'm so sorry. I just got accepted to a partnership program. And they're like, oh my God, Congratulations! Oh, he did it! Yeah, no, get up to the partner queue. You your partner, yeah? I goes, wow, okay, everyone's very enthusiastic. It's cool. So then I got up and I was like, hi, how's it going? I was like, here's my partnership badge, blah, blah, blah. And they print out my ticket, or they print out the lanyard, whatever you want to call it, and it said affiliate. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It's like, I'm actually a partner. And they're like, oh, Jesus, so sorry. Congratulations. I was like, yeah, it literally just happened a couple of hours ago. And they're like, oh, wow, congratulations. And the bloody manager of the whole thing came up to me. He was like, hey, congratulations, boy, and all this stuff. I was like, this is great. This is amazing. And then it was so good because I got noticed quite a few times in Amsterdam at the TwitchCon, and everyone saw the picture on Twitter. And they're like, congratulations, you got partner after all this fucking time and stuff. Yeah. Because I was waiting 3 months to hear back from them. Oh, wow. I applied, so I applied in March or February. February or March is when I applied, and I didn't hear back to them until July. July. I didn't hear back from them until June, July. Wow. So it was a massive achievement. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think, go back to your question, I really think the whole highlight of it all is just, not to be soppy or anything, but it's honest true. It's just the people that come in to the stream and the ones that stay. Yeah. I've had some fantastic stories. Like, I think, like, coming to the top of my head now was, I have a kid in my stream, and when he watched me, he was 14, I think, or 13, and he'd have to ask his mother permission to watch the stream, and he'd be like, "Ma'am, can I watch Mr. Gibbon's stream?" And she was like, "Right, I'm gonna have to watch him and see what he's like." Yeah. And it got to a point where eventually he would watch so much, he'd ask his mother if he could like sub to me. And he's been subbed. I think to this day, he's still subbed. He must be like, I don't know, whatever, 2-3 years later anyways. Oh my God. But I remember he was like, oh my God, I would really like to play with you. I was like, yeah, sure. Look, ask your mother. Yeah. And I remember I made a TikTok out of this. I was like, do you mind getting your mother on the microphone there for me? And she came on. She's like, hello. And sure, being me, I was being really flirty with her. I was like, how are you getting on? Are you well? Is there any chance I could, you know? She was like, oh, jeez, would you stop at you, Mr. Gibbon? Oh, God, that's too funny. I think that would be a highlight. And I made a TikTok and I titled it saying, I played with a viewer's mom on WarZone. And I didn't play with her at all. I was just talking to her for a minute. Yeah. But she got so flustered and everything. It was just brilliant. My God. And I remember he came into the stream one day and he said that he actually went up to the front of his classroom and showed his teacher, and the teacher showed us the whole class. Oh my God. That his mother was talking to me on a stream in front of like 30 or 40 people. I would think that would be a highlight with just him and his mother. But it wouldn't be a big, huge thing. Right. But to me personally, it would have been. Yeah. Oh. There's loads of highlights. I could go on all day with you, but I think that would be. That's pretty cool. A main one. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's amazing. The communities, like all of you people bring in, that follow you and just get involved with and interact with. I had Mark Stramon. He was talking about over the years, his people who were watching him ended up being like best friends, going to his weddings. And it's just these stories are just fantastic. Oh, it's unbelievable. I feel like it's all games. Yeah. You know, like you have something in common with someone. Yep. It's not like in Ireland, you're very forced to do something that you don't want to do. As in like sports wise, you need to do this. I suppose it's like that with the States with football, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you're in a football driven state or town or county or whatever, you need to play football. Yeah. But it's like that in Ireland. You need to do something, or soccer or something like that. Rugby or whatever. But with games, it's something you enjoy and you can be yourself. You're in your room, you have your computer on and stuff. And look, listen, you met the best of friends through games. Yeah, absolutely. You're meeting people who have the same interests as you do, you know? And it's different than IRL. It's like you're different, people who you're playing with, they got the same common interest. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Absolutely. Oh man, that's crazy. So now what advice would you give somebody who's going to hit that, go live button for the first time? Don't I get this asked all the time. Don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Do not do it for the money. Do it because you want to do it. Look, the money is great long term, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
If I've always wanted to do content creation, and the reason why I wanted to do content creation was because when I first watched YouTube, it was PewDiePie.
Yeah.
And I would watch him day and night during my mother and father's split. I'd be in bed, covers over my head, and I would just giggle away at all of his videos and stuff. And I've always had it in the back of my head. I was like, what if I could do that to someone?
Yeah.
And that should be the reason as to why you should do it. If that is the reason, you are going to be one of the best of the best. A lot of people that I knew did it for the money.
Yeah.
In Ireland, it's a very common thing for someone to ask you how much you're on.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. That's just the type of people we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, I'd be in the gym now and I'd have someone come up to me like, geez, how much you on now? No, it's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I remember I had to say it to someone before. I was like, I literally told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
I was like, get away from me. And I was good friends with them.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're honest to God, just asking me how much I'm on and I haven't talked to you in a couple of months, just go away from me. But a lot of people want to do it as well. They see the growth in me and they'll see how many subs I have or donos I'm getting or bits or whatever I'm getting or ads or whatnot. And they're like, oh, you must be on a handy figure. How much are you on? And could I do that too? Could you teach me how to get like that? And I'm just like, nope, I won't, because you're doing it for the complete and totally wrong reason.
Yeah.
Do it because you want to make a difference to someone else.
Yeah.
And I know there's like a huge in the streamer scene, especially WarZone. I'll never forget this tweet when someone tweeted out saying that, dear viewers, we're not your psychiatrist.
Yeah.
To me, you kind of are, but you're not. It's like, you kind of are.
There's a fine line, but yes.
Yes, there is a fine line. There really is. I'll never forget the time when I got a message from someone saying that they were going to kill themselves.
Oh my God. And
I had to contact their local police. I had to contact their mother. I had to contact their father and all that stuff. But that's what you're kind of getting into. You're getting into an area where you're making someone's day.
Yeah.
But they could be going through a really, really shitty time as well, that they need you for a bit of serotonin.
Right.
And you just have to be ready for that. Yeah. It's not all, I don't know, it's not all flowers and daisies and everything. Right. Everything's great. There's some negativities about streaming.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it to make a difference and to make a dent and to try and show off a niche that you think that you have, then go for it.
Yeah.
But please don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
The money is great for some people. It's horrible for others. Just don't do it for that.
Well, the money doesn't come easy, though. The amount of hours you need to put into it and to have the mental strength to stay at it. Yeah. You're not going to get rich off of Twitch. You need other things just from a discoverability standpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, I mean, I've been on it for 2 years now, and I'm finally seeing a return after 2 years. So, look, I'm very, very grateful for that, because it normally takes the average streamer to make a return on what they invested in, I think, 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it takes about 4 years for a person to make a decent return, and it's taken me 2. So I'm extremely grateful for that, but it is not easy. No. I wake up every morning at 6, 7 a.m. I go to the gym to freshen up my head.
Yeah.
I come back, I get on my computer, I edit. From 9 to 11, I eat from 11 to 12 or 11 to 11:30. I set up the stream. It takes me about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I stream for 6, 7 hours. I cannot stop thinking about the stream. Stream. And look, it's bad as well as good, but it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life. It's something that I've always wanted to do for the rest of my life. It's been a dream of mine to become a content creator. It's not something, if you really want to make this work, it's stream. If you want to do it as a hobby, by all means, it's definitely a fantastic hobby to do, but it's tough. It's not just playing video games.
No, it's not.
It's not.
And it's not just streaming live. Like you said, you've got your TikToks, you've got YouTube, you've got to have all of that and be on social media to have those connections going too.
Yes, exactly. Oh Jesus, you need to be. I feel like with college really helped me out with marketing and management.
Yeah,
because I knew what I was getting into before I set up the socials. I knew how Instagram worked. I knew how TikTok worked. I knew how Facebook worked and all that stuff. And of course, before I was streaming, I had the confidence of being in front of a camera. Not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Because I modeled for 5 years.
Oh, no way.
So yeah.
Oh,
I modeled. So when I was working in retail, I was also a part-time model.
Yeah.
So every second week, I would be in front of a camera for a whole day.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, Jesus, if I wasn't in front of a camera, I probably wouldn't even turn on a camera.
Yeah.
Like I had to be trained in stances and poses and all that sort of stuff. And it was intense. And that like I was modeling for 4 or 5 years. And for the first year or two, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. I was terrified of the camera. I was like, oh no, I don't like the picture. No. I hated that. But now it's just, I just have the camera on all the time.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? You know what I mean? But no, there's a lot to streaming. There's a lot to streaming. There sure is.
And staying in your chair, I think, is something that you've had.
Oh, you do not want to smell this chair, I tell you. You do not want to smell this chair.
I think there's a video of you falling out of your chair or something like that.
See, that's the fucking thing, right? It's like with this chair and the carpet, it doesn't go together.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, that's the thing. If I go back, I won't. I have such a bad habit of just going back and forth, just leaning on like that, and then the next thing, I just went, just gone.
Oh God, that was so.
But
funny.
yeah,
yeah. So now, what was TwitchCon EU? But that was your first TwitchCon, probably.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
And what was that experience like?
Oh man, it was the best experience ever. It was incredible. I think the best experience about it all was just I was in an area of people like me.
Yeah.
You know, I felt at home. I know a lot of people that I would know personally that would go, they'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
I was like, look, they're happy. Let them be happy.
Yeah.
Now, there was some times where I'd see like a lot of people wearing these, you know, these furries and stuff. I was like, what is going on there? Like, what? But look, I mean, look, they're happy. They were in their own skin. They're
not harming anybody.
They weren't harming anybody. So look, they're happy, and it was good to see everyone happy.
Yeah,
I didn't come across one person that was unhappy with whatever was going on.
Yeah,
and it was like being a partner there as well was a fantastic experience because I was a virgin. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, where am I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to see? And everyone's like, you're a partner now. You should go up there. You should be confident in yourself, you know? And I'll never, like, I started watching recently Hassan.
Yeah.
Who is he is a political controversial streamer. He'd be like the #1 just chatter at the minute.
Yeah.
And he was there and he announced like 2 days before he was going that he was going. And I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, I need to meet him. So I queued up and there was himself, Austin, Will, and Hassan. We were in the queue for like an hour and a bit. And I got up to them and they were so cool. And fucking, I think it was Will. Will said, wait, your partner? I was like, yeah. He goes, man, you didn't have to queue. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you didn't have to queue, man. I was like, are you telling me that I could go up to Pokemon and just be like, hey? He's like, yeah. He goes, for fuck's sake. So I didn't have to queue.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no, we would have been up in the partner lounge in about a half an hour anyways. I was like, oh my God, that is so bad. So I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing about it all, and I'm not trying to give myself a big head, but it was being noticed.
Yeah.
Do you know? And
you made it.
It was real. I think I got noticed maybe 40, 50 times.
Yeah.
Either like I wasn't being called the Twitch streamer, I was being called the TikToker.
Yeah.
Okay. They were all like, man, I love your content. It's like, when you come to YouTube, are you sticking with TikTok? And, you know, I'm going to have to switch over to YouTube a bit. And I remember I tweeted out saying, I'll be in this area at this time. and I was there with Jamak, and we waited for 4 minutes, and then I was like, there's no one coming, let's go.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, one person turned up, 2 people turned up, 10, 15.
Oh, shit.
I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? It's like, we need to get pictures. Can I get your autograph? Or can I get fucking selfies and stuff? I was like, what? This is crazy. This is bad. And I felt so bad, right? I felt so bad. I wouldn't let them go. I was like, no, stay here. I want to talk to you all. So like, I didn't want to be the person that literally like stood there and then they'd all come to me one-on-one.
Right.
We were just all around in a circle.
Yeah.
And I was just chatting, and I could see like a few of them kind of wanted to go away. It's like, no, come back. Come back. You haven't told me your name. Who are you? You know?
Oh, man.
It was so funny. So that was a huge highlight. And then like meeting Pepp and meeting Tweak and meeting Show.
Yeah.
Was a fantastic experience as well. And we went out we went out twice.
Yeah.
And we just got on like a house on fire. Like 1 minute, like we went to an Italian restaurant, and we got a few drinks, and before we knew it, there was like 5 of us.
Yeah.
20 of us, 30 of us.
God.
There was so many of us. It was just with a big long table, and they were just all streamers and content creators, whether we were viewers or affiliates or partners, it didn't matter who you were. We were just all there. We were just all getting on. It was just harmless banter. We were just chatting and everything, and just talking about everything in common.
Yeah.
We weren't talking, like we were talking about sports. We were talking about games. We were talking about everything. There was no awkward silence.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but for me, I don't do well in big crowds when there's an awkward silence.
Yeah.
It's just like, I hate it so much because I start overthinking everything. I'm just like, maybe they don't like me. Maybe they don't want to talk to me and stuff like that. What do I do? What do I do? I just get up and I leave.
Yeah.
But when I was here, the Irish goodbye.
Yep.
That's what I would do. But here there was none of that.
Yeah.
Everyone just bounced off each other. It was just really, really nice, calm, cool, collective talking. And I said, this is great. This is absolutely incredible. And hopefully we do it all over again in 2 weeks in San Diego.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, actually, my pod this week dropped with Pepp. I had him on a few weeks ago.
Did you?
Yes, what a character. Oh, he's such a
Pepp.
funny guy. Yeah.
Oh my God. He's like, how's it going? Are you well? His call's crack. Wait, no. Listen, there's a couple of drinks into me that night. I was talking like Pepp, and he was just, you okay, dude? Fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Pepp to bits. I think he is the most underrated streamer on this platform.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I hope one day that he'll wake up and he'll just have never-ending success.
Yeah.
He's just one of the nicest people out there.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
is.
Down
really is.
to earth, just super nice guy. Yeah. Awesome. So now you're coming stateside.
Yeah,
dude. When
I can't wait.
I was gonna say you must be pumped up, partnered, and ready to rock.
I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Like we're only going for It just like we're at the talks now. We were supposed to go for I go for the week.
Yeah,
and then my girlfriend would come over to LA and we'd stay there for 2 weeks. But then I'm there thinking, and this is one of the bad things about being a streamer. You cannot take long holidays. You can't.
Yeah.
And I don't think a non-streamer will get this unless either if you're a streamer, you'll get it. If you're a viewer, you'll get it. But if you're not, you won't get it.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to retain your audience when you're away from the camera for longer than 3 days.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the time when Tim the Tatman went away for like 2 weeks for a holiday. Before he went, he had like 55,000 average.
Yeah.
And when he came back, it was halved. It's 25 to 26. And he talked about it. And he goes, I'm never doing that again. Because of all these people that he used to watch, who were used to watch him, went off and watched someone else.
Right. Yeah.
And before they know it, so much can happen in a week or two, or a day even.
Yeah.
And they'd switch off and they'd move to that content creator. And then before you know it, you don't have that that streamer support or that viewer support.
Right.
So I had to really like sit down and really think about, right, if we're going, I'm really going to sacrifice the ball that I'm on now.
Yeah.
Because the ball that I'm on now, I mean, each month is progressively getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I do not want that to stop. And that's like my addictive personality when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Last month, did better than the month before.
Yeah.
This month is better than last month already. It's crazy. So I'm looking at like my views, my subs, my chattings, everything analytics wise, and I'm comparing to what they can be next month.
Yeah.
So if I go away for 3 weeks next month, I'm missing out in 3 weeks of content.
Right.
I'm missing out in 3 weeks of chatters, subs, all this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm not in a financial position to be like, I can take a 3-week holiday and not worry about all that.
Yeah.
Because it's only like my growth only really started in April.
Yeah.
I put up a TikTok, I went viral. That's what got me onto the Tarkov side of things.
Yeah.
And I want to keep going until April next year.
Yeah.
Or March next year until I can actually safely go away for a decent holiday.
Yeah.
So it was originally going to be 3 weeks. But I really don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
And I was more focused on, right, let me go to San Diego for a week.
Yeah.
Because I'm meeting fans, I'm meeting viewers, I'm meeting streamers, I'm meeting friends, and networking and all that, and businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going to it unless I was fairly certain that I could see it as being an investment.
Yeah.
So with Amsterdam, I saw it as an investment because I met some people that were potential sponsors and partnerships and stuff like that. And my DMs are being flooded now on both my emails and Instagrams and Twitters of people saying, "Oh, we need to meet. We'd like to meet up."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but here's my fee of meeting up, and you got to think of all of that as well. So I saw that, like, even though that week I'm losing out on so much content, I'm pretty certain I'll make it back in the following week because I'll have 3 weeks then left of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I went for 3 weeks, it'll just be, I have 1 week of making content.
Right.
And it'll be difficult.
Well,
but then
also the 1 week that you're there is also look long term of the connections you're making. That's where it'll balance out, or you'll catch that back. Yeah,
because there's my main goal at TwitchCon San Diego is to meet people and friends that I've only seen behind a camera.
Yeah.
And I want to give a big, huge hug, and I just want to chat with them, buy them beer or whatever, or whatever they're into, and just sit down and chat with them. And that's it. That's the only reason why I'm really going, is just for networking. And of course, the bonus of it all is businesses want to meet you as well.
Yes.
But I would not be going if I didn't see it as a benefit to me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But sure, look, I have family in LA. I'm sure they'll welcome me any month of the year, but it's just I want to plan it, even though that I don't even have my flights booked. I have no accommodation sorted. The only thing I've booked is the tickets.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest with you, I've looked at the flights. They're actually not too bad in comparison to how much I paid to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So I paid, I think it was €680 for a return flight to Amsterdam. And that's normally a €30 flight.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was around the time of no one wants you to fly.
Right.
Because there's so much of a backlog. So I was like, I have to fucking go. So we had to fork out that. And I think it works out to be the same as well in San Diego. It works out to be like 680 or 700 now, I think, return. Which isn't too bad, I guess.
Not bad to go all the way over there and back.
No, not really. Yeah. Not too bad. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I've heard that San Diego is so much better for conventions than any other place in the world. So I'm really looking forward to that. And plus, I haven't been in America since I was 20.
Yeah.
7, 8 years ago. So I'm really looking for. I love the Americans. I love the American people. I just love how a majority of you are just all so positive, and You're also generous and everything like that. I think it's a breath of fresh air in comparison to the Irish people.
Yeah.
Well, the Irish people can be very mean, as you'd say. Or very, But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it now.
Excellent. So 2 things off of that whole what we were just talking about there. One is the, doing what you do as a living, vacations. Luckily you guys have, healthcare, but in the States, there's none of that. So if you go down that path, you don't, the amount of time you got to put into it, you can't afford to take sick days. You can't have, there's no health insurance. So once you hit partner, have something in place there, some safety nets or something like that, because you're helping the platform, and maybe in return, the platform could, have some safety nets or something in place.
Yeah. Oh, definitely no. It's like, I think in Ireland, like, even though that our healthcare in Ireland is pretty good, it is pretty shit as well.
Yeah.
Because when you're going public, you could be waiting 5 years for a serious operation.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go private, you're paying top tier price, but you're still waiting a couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. The way it's gone now, it's absolutely nuts. And then we're being shafted with tax as well.
Yeah.
Our tax is going through the fucking roof. It's wild.
Yeah.
Now I don't know anything about tax. My accountant does all of that.
Yeah.
But from hearing stories from other streamers, other Irish streamers who live in America, they're getting taxed for both America and Ireland. So there was one story that I heard of one particular streamer. I won't say her name, but she's been taxed like 78% of her total revenue.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I'm not too sure what her accountant is doing.
Yeah.
But they're not doing a great job if she's being taxed 78%.
Jesus, no.
But yeah, it's going to see in Ireland, streaming isn't really, it's not out there yet, but it will be. But yeah, no, it's most certainly tough in Ireland, but I can't imagine what it's like in America.
Yeah.
That's why I'd say a lot of the big streamers, they have a house in Florida or they have a house in Texas.
Yep.
No income tax.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the other piece of that was the explosion, the wave that you're on. What do you you looked at the analytics. What do you think why that is happening the way it is?
I've seen like the biggest common response I get from majority of my audience is thank you for making my day.
Yeah.
I've never laughed so hard watching your content. I've sat and watched 3 hours of your content. It's hilarious. I feel like I'm just giving a good laugh to someone watching. Yeah. And as long as I'm doing that, the wave is just going to go higher.
Yeah.
I feel like. I'm just going to keep doing the same content I'm doing. But the funny thing is about it all is it's not going to work. Like, it works for me, but it's not going to work for someone else because I've done the niche.
Right.
It's there. It's being done.
Yeah.
There's so many copycats out there. And look, listen, I'm totally up for people copying me. Please do, because it's showing me that it's working.
Right.
If your videos are doing well, it's working. It's great. But when it comes to all of this, it's like if I'm making someone's day, if I'm making at least one person's day, then it's going to grow nonetheless.
Because people will spread that word, that viral. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Like I get tagged in videos all the time of people reacting to my TikToks.
Yeah.
And you just see them pissing themselves laughing. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. I'm so happy for them. Like they're actually enjoying the content.
Oh,
but when I was posting up Warzone stuff, it was just like negative comments and stuff like that. So I said, you know what, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, because nobody's seeing. You know, when you see you playing Tarkov, people know that you're happy, you're enjoying yourself. There's not that negativity that's like the angry videos and things like that.
Yeah. There's none of that. Like I have yet to see a negative comment on any of my social media platforms. Yeah. I have not seen one. Maybe. I think the worst one I saw was, Jesus, Gib, you're the Aldi or the Walmart version of Jon Snow. I'm like, hey, now, come on now. That's a bit much now. Come on, dude. But it's great with this wave that I'm on. I don't see it going away anytime soon. And if it does, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I know what goes up, it must come down. But it'll have to go back up again. Like,
well, and people are coming back to watch you, so they enjoy you. So that's that's not going to go away.
The average is there. The overall views there. There's no major hit. Now there will be a hit when Tarkov gets more stale.
Yeah.
But like we have September, October, November. We have 3 more months.
Right.
Until wipe.
Yep.
And I think in October
the arena we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing fine. I'm okay.
Excellent. So now when you hit that, when you disconnect, you're not going, you're signing off for the day. What do you do around, you work out in the morning? Do you?
My daily routine is work out in the morning, eat, edit, stream. When I turn off the stream, I cook.
Yeah.
I clean. I sit down. I'll either have like a glass of whiskey or a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I would watch TV with my girlfriend, and we would just chat about each other's day. How did you get on with your day? How did I get on with my day? And repeat.
Yeah.
That's really it. I mean, it's a quite, not an easy life, but it's a nice chill life. And I think it's just like that now, because it's the first time the two of us are living together, and we're just chilled out. We're trying to like find our balance of what's right and what's wrong and stuff. But that's what it was. That's like when I was living with my uncle, it was me in front of the screen.
Yeah.
12 hours a day. Same thing again. Go to the gym. Get up in the morning. Go to the gym. Come back. Eat. Edit. And then stream. Eat. Come back. Go over my clips.
Yeah.
Edit. Bed.
Yeah.
But now, because of how well the stream is doing, I can hire editors.
Yeah.
I can hire thumbnail artists. I can tell them what I want them to do. I have such a fantastic team behind me now.
Nice.
But it wasn't like this until maybe 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
2 weeks ago, it was just 12 hours of being in front of a screen and editing, streaming. It was intense. So it was 2 years of intense work, but now it's kind of like, I don't want to stop that because I don't want to get lazy.
Yep.
I would like, but I just got to make time for ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to make your IRL
make time for your
stuff
family.
healthy.
Yeah, IRL stuff.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's so important. I think one of the most important things for any streamer to do is exercise.
Yeah.
Really, really is. It'll change your personality completely. Wake up early, go for a run, go for a walk, go to the gym, lift some weights, do some sports, do whatever for an hour or so, and then come back and you have a fresh mind and everything. You like the difference in a person it'll make you if you just go out and get a bit of exercise. You can see it in their face and everything. Yeah. Everyone's happy. I go over my stream. If there is a day where I don't go to the gym, you can see that I'm a different person there than I was the day before when I did go to the gym.
Yeah.
The gym was my happy place. It's a place where I like let off steam.
Yeah.
If I have any problems, I fuck it. One more rep. And yeah, that'll be my day today now.
All right. And now, who's any content creators or streamers that you watch that people should check out that may be flying under the radar?
Definitely Pepp.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's like he's a partner and he has like 40,000 odd followers, but he is most certainly under the radar because he doesn't post on any socials and he should.
Yes.
The faker. Who else? But Pepp would definitely be. I always say this to everyone. It's like whenever Pepp is on, I was like, guys, go over to Pepp.
Yeah.
Who else is flying under the radar? There's so much. Like I can't really pick one.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying Pepp now is because I just know that a person like Pepp deserves so much more than what he's already getting.
Yeah.
And like any other streamer that I can think of, they are putting in the work.
Yeah.
They're putting in the same amount of work as I am. And if they do that, I'm pretty certain that they're going to get what I'm getting now is the wave.
Yeah.
So that's probably it.
All right. And now you're coming to you're coming to the States. Football season's going on right now. Have you found your football team yet?
Yes. So there is there's a guy, I don't know if you know him, probably do. AJ Dillon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes into the stream quite a bit.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. He comes into the stream quite a bit, and he's getting into Tarkov now, actually.
Yeah.
And we'd like send each other messages back and forth. And I tweeted that out a couple of days ago saying, right, I'm going to get back into it because I used to be obsessed with NFL, but I completely forgot everything now about it. And I tweeted out, I was like, watch team should I support? And there was so much hatred of people like fighting each other saying, no, you go for the Bengals. No, you go for the Packers. No, go for the Saints and all this. But he came in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what are the odds that you're coming in today, AJ? And he was like, yeah, I saw your tweet. He's like, what team are you going to go for? And I said, well, I'm probably going to have to go for the fucking Packers now, won't I? And he said, no, don't. He's like, just watch everyone. Just enjoy it. It's your first time. Get into it.
Yeah.
And I said, and I joked about him, I was like, what are the odds, AJ, that you send me on a signed jersey, a signed worn jersey? And he goes, bet, I'll send it over to you now.
No
so
way.
I was like, right, I think I'm going to actually have to go for the Packers.
You got to go for the Packers. Absolutely.
I feel like I have to. But my first ever NFL game that I went to back in 2012 or 13 was the Bengals.
Oh, no way.
In Cincinnati, because I was living in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati is only like an hour or two drive away.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. And I feel like watching it is so much better than seeing on the TV.
Yeah.
Or being there in person, because you're being hit by like ads every minute.
Yep.
It's horrendous. It's so bad. Whereas in Ireland, you get an ad every 40 minutes.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
really?
Like,
oh, shoot.
Yeah. So it'd be 40 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
Then,
oh my God, it's unheard of over here.
Yeah, no, I thought it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was madness. You get 40 minutes of game time, 15-minute break, and then in that 15-minute break, you just get lambasted with ads.
Yeah.
And another 40 minutes of game time, and that's it. Whereas I remember I was sitting down on the couch and I was watching a football game. Every shagging minute, it was an ad. Mountain Dew, Tito. I was like,
Budweiser.
what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Budweiser and all this. This is crazy. Yeah. But I really do like the American advertising.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I love America so much. Like, you have no idea. Like, America has such a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of my father's business was done in America.
Yeah.
So we would go back and forth when I was younger. A lot of my cousins are there.
Yeah.
So I was influenced by an awful lot of American culture.
Right.
Autumn is my favorite time of year because the first time I went to America was in autumn.
Yeah.
And Halloween, you do Halloween like no other. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. We don't do it here at all. Well, we do, but we don't.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the weather to be going out trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Because it just rains and pisses all the time. So I can imagine now you pretty much have all Halloween decorations in stores and stuff. Yeah?
Oh, yes. Yep. That's in stores.
We have none of that here yet. We'll probably get Halloween decorations in our stores maybe 2 weeks before Halloween.
Yeah.
And it'll be little bits and pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be anything major. But I remember when I was in America at the time, and I was just in awe with all of the decorations. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I just you people are just so kind and so nice and so thoughtful and stuff. I know that maybe a lot of Americans don't feel like that about your own. You may feel like, oh my God, the Irish are amazing or something like that. But for me, it'd be like that towards you.
Yeah.
So I just if I was single in the morning, I'd just gather up everything and I'd move to Texas. I'd just go. Just like, God, good luck. But it would be a dream of mine to set up base there as well. Yeah. So I could go over for like 6 months and come back for 6 months.
Well, Tweak's coming over, right?
He is. Yeah. He is. I'm so happy for him.
Oh,
I'm so happy for him.
It's been a long time.
I don't know if he's ever been there though.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it's like an Irishman in Kentucky.
Dude. I mean, when I went to Kentucky, I didn't know what to experience, but I had family there, you see.
Okay, all right.
So I knew what I was. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went over feeling secure.
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
But Texas, Tweak, I've never gone to Texas. I'm like, he hates the heat.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting.
You're getting to something.
Yeah. Now, I got a question for you. So I'm from Newfoundland, and we have our own adult version of Halloween during Christmas called Mummering, where basically in the neighborhood, people dress up. The adults dress up, and they go house to house, and the owners of the house feed them booze and alcohol. And you have drinks, you have music,
What?
then you move to the next house. This is like a pub crawl, but at Christmas time dressed up.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, you're on
That's
an
incredible.
island in the North Atlantic, wintertime.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Drink and go house to house. Might as well dress up like Halloween.
Oh my Lord, that's incredible. We have that. We have the 12 pubs of Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So at Christmas time, you have to go to 12 pubs and you
Yeah.
have to do games in 12 pubs.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
like each pub has a particular game you have to do. So
Yeah.
pub 1 might be you have to talk in a British accent. Pub 2 might have to be you can't hold your pint glass. You need to get someone to hold it for you, or you need to
okay.
use your mouth. Third one is no one talks. You know, it goes on. There's so many rules.
Yeah.
But like, try telling an Irish person that they can't talk in a pub after
Oh
a couple
my
of
God.
pints in them, and whoever fails has to buy the next round in the next pub for everyone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, and I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular when you're in university or when you're in IT.
Right.
It's very popular for students.
Yeah.
I haven't done it since now. I haven't gone out in Ireland now in about 3 or 4 years
Yeah.
because the Irish pub scene is like, it's not like it is in America, as in like you go to your bars or
Yeah.
whatnot, or in Canada as well. You don't go to your bars, you chill out there. In
Yeah.
Ireland, you get drunk to just get the ride.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
it. Like, that's what it is.
Oh, man. Cool. Oh, where does the name come from? Mr. Gibbon. Is there...
Yes. So my surname is Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I couldn't call myself Mr. Fitzgibbon because it sounded like a teacher. Like, Mr. Fitzgibbon, sir, can I watch your stream, please?
Yeah.
So there was actually, I remember it was a mate of mine who actually came up with the idea, and he's a fantastic guy when it comes up with like things, as in like he's very witty with names and stuff. And
Yeah.
He goes, your name is Gibbon. You're a Mr. Fitzgibbon. No, Mr. Gibbon. Yes, Mr. Gibbon. Go for Mr. Gibbon. And I was like, a gibbon's a monkey. And he goes,
Right.
yeah, your logo could be a monkey. And then I was like, yeah, Jesus, okay, because my mother and father called me ears, like your ears.
Yeah.
They called me ears for years because I used to have big ears.
Yeah.
I don't anymore now. It was a baby thing.
Yeah.
But they'd say that I'd have big ears like a monkey.
Yeah.
So I was like, it matches up perfectly. So why don't I use the Gibbon as my logo, who's also a monkey,
Right.
and then have just Mr. Gibbon because it's. And there was times where when I got partnership, I got an email saying that I can have one name change.
Yeah.
And I was there. Will I keep it Mr. Gibbon or will I keep it Gibbon?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'll keep it Mr. Gibbon because you can still call me Gibbon either or.
Yeah.
But
I like
it's
the Mr. Gibbon. That's
yeah,
the one.
I think the Mr. Gibbon is
Yeah.
something.
Awesome.
And plus, when you're bumping into someone at the game, it's like, wait, are you Mr. Gibbon? It's like, yeah.
Right.
It just sounds different. It's like, wait, are you Gibbon?
Right.
Oh, it's very
I
funny.
love it. Well, hey, you survived the podcast, man.
Is it over?
Yeah, it's over. Hopefully it wasn't
Oh,
too
well,
painful.
I'd talk for another bit of what?
But before you go, though, now you got to call out somebody who should come on the podcast.
Oh, who would I call out? You've done Pepp.
Did Pepp.
Done Tweak.
I haven't done Tweak yet.
Have you not done Tweak?
Pepp called out Tweak.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Have you done Gingy?
I have not done Gingy, no.
Do Gingy.
All right. There you
Please,
go. Gingy,
yeah,
you've been called
she's-
out. Mr. Gibbon is calling you out.
Yeah, she's great. Do Gingy and tell. I'm certain she will. She will. If she's not playing Tarkov for 12 hours, I don't know.
Oh, man.
You might
She's a
get her.
head
You might get her.
cracker. Jeepers.
Yes.
Yeah, luck of the Irish, too, with everything she
Oh
finds
my
in the
God!
game.
Stop it! I know it. I
God.
know it.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure meeting you.
You too. Thanks a million for having me on. I appreciate it.